Pat Mahomes, 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. Pat Mahomes, underdog in back-to-back Super Bowls. If you didn't take him, what are you doing? And listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm the perfect man, because make no mistake, I took the Bills, then I put a rack on the Ravens, and then smart guy Mikey put a rack on a Niners touchdown score. So listen, I got burnt more than once on Pat Mahomes. But you know, I looked at myself in the mirror when we got to Vegas, and I had to have a legitimate conversation with myself. And I said, Mike, are you going to sit here and fade the greatest quarterback and the greatest coach in the biggest game against an all-time melter in Shanahan and Brock Purdy? Are you going to do that? Are you going to do that? And not to mention, are you going to fade your girlfriend's hometown team again? No, the answer was no. I was always going to take Pat Mahomes at plus chicken in the Super Bowl again. The fact that Pat Mahomes has played Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy and been an underdog in both those games in the biggest dance is absurd.
It's insane.
Like, insane. Which, by the way, we might have to start betting a little smarter because Vegas, they're going to want that money back.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to want that money back.
They're coming for us this week.
No, they're coming for us. Quick message out to Mr. Shanahan. What were you doing, guy? The Niners didn't even know the rules of overtime. The Niners weren't even prepped for overtime in the biggest game of all time. When I was a freshman playing basketball, we had prepped for overtime almost every practice.
Yeah.
If it was a big tournament for AAU, we prepped for overtime. There was a different set of plays. Keep in mind, I was, 14 years old?
Yeah.
You're telling me in the biggest dance, the biggest game in all of sport other than the World Cup, you're not prepping the boys for a little extra football?
Dude, I thought that Kyle got out of it, like, without fucking up the entire game.
No.
Then somehow.
No.
Somehow.
No. And we talked about it. We said, listen, here's the thing. Andy Reid is going to outcoach Shanahan. Shanahan's going to have a playbook that was literally chiseled out of granite to win this game. And what does he do? He gets to overtime. Chances left. The guys have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Guys have no idea what's going on. And by the way, Jets legend, that's why I'm wearing the shirt, McCole Hardman wins the Super Bowl. Shout out McCole Hardman. Holy crap. What am I doing, Josh?
Jets
we have an ex-Jet and I'm not taking him to score a touchdown? Like, what is – I was sitting there going, what is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? And by the way, not to mention, what a legacy back-to-back drive by Pat Mahomes.
Incredible.
Pat Mahomes.
Incredible.
And I got to go to the game. Shout out RJ Kaminsky and the whole PLL team, which, by the way, the Champ Series has started today. We're taking both overs. Okay? Everyone go interact with the tweet. Everyone take both overs with me. You can watch it on ESPN2 tonight. It's going to be insane. All right? So lock in.
So pumped.
Dude, I'm actually juiced. Like, the Champ Series gets me juiced because it's goals galore. They're everywhere.
It's so fun, dude.
It's like 7v7 short. They just bang all night. All night. So make sure you guys tap in on that. We're betting on that. But back to the Super Bowl really quick. I just want to say a couple things. First, I got to go to the game. What an experience. I think the greatest sporting event I've ever been to was a Liverpool-Arsenal game in Liverpool. I don't think there's anything better than European soccer. Literally right below that was the Super Bowl.
Really?
I mean, it felt like the entertainment hub of all events. Like, there was not a minute where you weren't like bopping or there wasn't like insane energy in the building. And it's a Super Bowl, so you get that. You got the celebrities on the board, which, by the way, shout out Taylor Swift. I'm now a Swiftie. I watched her yug a glass of white wine on the Jumbotron, and I was like, you know what? That was cool. Like, that was the bridge I think NFL fans needed to see.
Yeah.
And I think she made the bridge.
That she's one of us.
Yeah, that I was like, okay, you're at the Super Bowl and you're yugging.
Yeah.
You're not just like up there like
you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it.
Game, respect game.
Dude, also Dill God. I forgot about this. Shout out Oz the Mentalist. Have you seen that video of that dude in the Jets?
Yeah, he predicted the bowl. Well, the score.
McCole predicted the bowl.
And
McCole said we're gonna play the 49ers.
Yeah. He didn't say
he wasn't wrong.
Yeah, he didn't say the Jets were going to play.
That was incredible. That was
his
incredible.
we ended up being on the Chiefs. I'll tell you what. Game was insane. I don't know why, if Young Boys label paid for it or what was happening. It felt like every third down they were playing Vet Motors. Like I was busting, like literally busting in the crowd. Got to meet Johnny Manziel. I mean, let me just walk you through that interaction. Not that you guys want to hear about it, but guess what? You're going to hear about it because it was literally my life. This is his hat that's been on the set since we started. Like I'm a Johnny Manziel super fan. He was like my hero growing up. Noticed him behind me. And for those of you that know me, I used to have him as my background. Used to. Now it's the world, and I don't know if you know this, but the iPhone now has like an interactive
I used to have
globe
that, yeah.
where it changes throughout the
they've had
day,
that for a
and the
while
lights
now.
come on. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I think they've had that for a while.
I didn't know they had that. I was
Yeah.
like, this is the coolest thing
Yeah.
since sliced bread. Like this is gonna be my background forever now because I like knowing like, oh, it's now dark on the East Coast. But he used to be my background. It was him and Texas A&M was like a little animated version of him doing this. I noticed him out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, oh my God, RJ, there are not many celebrities that I will geek over, but this is the only one that I will fanboy for. And I think that's true. There's been we saw a lot of celebrities. There wasn't many that I will fanboy for other than Johnny Manziel and probably Drake, maybe Dwayne Wade, Allen Iverson, probably. Those would be the four. Yeah, those would be the four that when I grew up, I was like, oh my God, these are the guys. Notice how there's not a single Jets player. Not a single fucking Jets player would I bust over.
Not Chris Ivory.
Which, by the way, did see a Jets player, Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
Hit him with a fist bump.
Yeah.
I think I was the only person in all of Vegas to recognize fucking Randall Cobb. I was like, Randall Cobb! As he was walking by, and he was like, what's up, man? And I was like, let's go Jets. Hit him with a, let's go. Also got to fist bump Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, I forgot about Le'Veon.
Yeah, got to fist bump Le'Veon Bell. He was sitting in the waiting room of one of the clubs, and we're like walking by, and I was like, "Oh, Le'Veon Bell, big Jets guy." And he hit my knuckle, and I hope that hurt him a little bit. That a Jets fan was still showing him some love because he rat fucked us.
One of the winners of Generational Bag Stealer from earlier on.
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon
And
Bell.
I hit him with and told him I was a Jets fan. And I think that was the night I was in my Garrett Wilson t-shirt. So it was just everything was coming full circle for the Jets fandom. So sad that the two guys that I get excited for are Le'Veon Bell and Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
My
We saw
dad is-
Odell too.
We saw Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
We saw all the guys. I've got an eye for celebrities. I don't know what it is, but I'll be like, oh, that's fucking, that's fucking, that's fucking. But I never get excited for him. So back to Johnny Manziel. See Johnny out of the corner of my eye. I was like, oh my God. I think Johnny Manziel's sitting behind us. And he was sitting behind us all game. And I was like, RJ, dude, I don't know what to do, man. Like, do I go up? Like, I got to get a photo of him. Do I go up to him? And I was like going through to change my background back because it had literally been 2 weeks since I changed it. And I was like, do I change the background back? And RJ, advice of the lifetime, was like, do not change.
Do not do that.
That's
Yeah.
a little weird. And I was like, you know what? Angel on the shoulder, thank God. Because I was going to be like, dude, you'd be my background. That would have been weird as
Yeah.
fuck.
You've been my background for 8 years.
But I was like, there was a little pause and someone was getting a photo of Johnny and he was almost at the aisle, but not at the aisle. And I was like, this would be the perfect time to be like, yo, can I get a photo with you and have him like step into the stairs? Because RJ was like, take a selfie. Sorry, RJ. I was like, I don't really want a selfie with Johnny. Like, I want to have the arm around it, be holding the beer. Like, I had this vision for when I met Johnny Manziel. Finally, I get up. I was like, RJ, I'm doing it. Keep in mind, way too many beverages deep. But I was like, got that confidence. I was like, I'm doing it. I go up to him. Johnny's like talking. And I was like tapping him on the back, dude. I was like tapping his back. I was like, yo, Johnny. And I turned Johnny. He's like, what's up, man? I was like, dude, can I please get a photo? Like, you've been my hair since I was a little kid. Like, it would just mean the world. And he was like, dude, absolutely. So he comes over, puts your arm around. We like take the photo. Thank God RJ caught the dap. I sent the dap to my dad. My dad just like not a big Johnny guy, but he knows that I've been like a huge Johnny guy. He was like very cool. But I ended up like dapping Johnny. And I was like, dude, just want to say like, thank you again, man. Like, you're like one of my heroes, bro. Like, this is surreal meeting you. And he was like, dude, so good meeting you, man. Like, whatever. Sit back down. I was literally shaking, sitting back down next to RJ. I felt like such a little bitch, but I was like, dude, that was just like everything that I thought, like, hoped it would be. Like, he was so chill, like, such a nice guy, like, wasn't a dick at all. Opened the socials, followed me back on both platforms. I was bustos. So now I was like, I don't give a fuck what happens in this bowl. Like, I'm bustos. Right? I just met Johnny Manziel. He followed me on everything. Like, what? Like, what are the odds, basically? What are the odds? Now we're back in the game. There was not a minute where I felt like the Chiefs weren't going to win that game.
No, I agree.
That 10-point lead felt like nothing.
Yeah.
It felt like the Niners just came out really hot and the Chiefs hadn't found their footing yet. And then you go on socials, you see Travis Kelce beefing with Andy Reid, which, by the way, I feel like you love to see in a game like that, only with players and coaches that have been through that kind of stuff together.
Yeah.
Right. I saw Skip Bayless tried to I don't even want to get into it, but I feel like a lot of people maybe got rubbed the wrong way. But when you think about all the things that those three have been together, Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Travis Kelce, that's almost like a son and a dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
where the son just kind of loses his shit on the dad a little bit. And, the dad being like, hey, man, like, relax, we're going to get this done. But the son being like, dude, like, I need the fucking ball and we need to figure this out because we're down 10, right? And I feel like that's what you wanted to see. And seeing that on social media almost made me more confident.
Yeah. I also knew that the Chiefs just needed one play to go their way, like one fluke play, that muff punt off the dude's heel. That's when I knew. I was like, this game's over. Once they got that, they just needed one play to get that offense going. Boom, that was it.
Literally all they needed. That was literally all they needed. And I'm not going to be like the LeBron James, but this conversation actually happened, and first of all, we're going to get RJ on the show at some point to talk some PLL. But the minute the Niners took the ball in overtime, I literally looked at RJ and I said, the Kansas City Chiefs just won this game. Like, they just won this game. Because my point being, when you put Pat Mahomes in a situation where he knows what he has to do to win the ball game, where you only put 3 points on and he goes, oh, I have to score a touchdown to win.
Yeah.
He's winning the ball game.
Yeah.
You have to put Pat Mahomes in a situation where he's trying to survive.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, we march. If we get a field goal, we're still alive and our defense can get a stop. When you put Pat Mahomes in a situation where he can go win a ball game, the ball game is over.
Another good point my dad had was you gave Patrick Mahomes 4 downs to get 10 yards because he knew, obviously, you need to score points.
Yeah, the game's
giving
over.
him 4 downs to get 10 yards is free. Like, that's just automatic.
4th and 1, he uses his legs, gets fucking 12 yards.
Yeah.
Like, the game was over. There was nothing the Niners were going to do to stop that kid once he knows what he has to do to win.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone saw this, but Brittany Mahomes posted her text with Pat Mahomes. And I think it might have been a group chat that she wasn't in that she got a screenshot of. But Pat Mahomes texted what I would assume would be the team. I think it was in January. And he said, I decided we're winning the Super Bowl this year.
The sickest text of all time.
Like, that's just a guy.
And you know that, like, everyone in that group chat's like, oh, shit, we're actually going to win the Super Bowl. Like, if he wants to win the Super Bowl, he'll do it.
Yeah, I just got chills because the guys in that group chat were like, oh, we're winning the bowl this year.
Yeah.
Like, when Pat Mahomes texts you and he says, I've decided, not that, hey, guys, like, we got to get together. We need to win this bowl. When Pat Mahomes texts you, I have decided we're winning the Super Bowl, it was over for the league. It was over for the league.
Yeah.
And I bet against him twice, but I picked him in the big game. That's all that matters. Josh, I had a certain video go pretty insane while we were in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that I dropped a rack-a-rooney on Deebo Samuel to score a touchdown. Watching him get 2 targets in the end zone and just have McDuffie putting him in an absolute seatbelt was one of the worst feelings of my entire life. Because I'm sitting next to RJ and we're both kind of like, okay, this is a drive where we could get a Deebo touchdown. And watching Brock drop back, and it was 2 drop backs where it was slinging.
Yeah.
And see Deebo be the guy that's supposed to be catching this ball, and watching McDuffie just have him in a strap was it made my stomach hurt.
That play in the back of the end zone was incredible.
Dude, I mean,
you just gotta chalk that up.
That was on the opposite field for me, so I couldn't really see it. But
Yeah.
I was like, I need to see what just happened. Check Twitter. I was like, it's over.
That was unbelievable.
Then he goes down and gets injured. I've never seen my DMs flood the way they flooded when he got injured. They're like, you're a fucking idiot, fucking Deebo's hurt. And now for that, 10, 15 minutes, I don't remember what happened in the game because I was literally watching Deebo on the sideline. He was trying to get it going. Then he was like, fuck. And then they put him in the blue tent. And then I was like, RJ's in the blue tent. It's over. Then he comes out of the blue tent, sprinting up and down the sideline. I was like, oh my God, we might have life. We might have life with a Deebo touchdown now. But then we get towards the end of the fourth quarter. Doesn't happen. Settle. Now we're in overtime. I was like, okay, this could be it. But then I checked my Twitter and found out that Trent is a touchdown away with Christian McCaffrey for $1 million. And I made my piece of it because RJ was like, yo, this is overtime. We get Deebo. And I was like, dude, I've made my piece. I'm willing to sacrifice a Deebo touchdown to get McCaffrey another one.
Oh, yeah.
To let's get Trent over the line.
Yeah.
Because I know how much the entry meant. I know how hard he worked to like craft it. And I was like, I'm willing to sacrifice Debo. If we can get a McCaffrey right here and we get Trent the Millie, like this is going to be an unreal story just for Book It Sports. Dude, that play calling in overtime when you're that close and then to not go for it and settle for a field goal instead of pinning them on like their own, what would have been their own 15, their own 12. They were so fucking close, dude. To not go for it there, like Shanahan just shit down his leg in that overtime. The play calling was horrendous. There wasn't one play where Brock Purdy dropped back and I was like, oh, they're scoring in that overtime when they got in the red zone. And then to settle for the field goal instead of going, okay, let's just pin them really deep and leave it on our defense and maybe give us some life. The game was over.
They didn't know the rules.
They didn't know the fucking. They didn't know what was going on, dude.
Dude,
they didn't know what was going on.
Also, that fucking hold, dude. It was 2nd and 2, and they got that hold
that
down by the goal line.
That was fucking.
That was it. That was it.
I mean, yeah, that was it for sure. But again, it's like not understanding the rules. It kind of makes sense watching those plays back a little bit,
yeah,
like from the player perspective, right? Like when you watch the Kansas City Chiefs, like them knowing, okay, if we score, we win here. Like guys were fucking dying on that field, on that drive. Like it almost felt like the Niners were like, oh, if we score, like it might be over. Like the field goals, we'll take a field goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was just so botted looking back on it. But my God, just one more time. How about McCole Hardman? Jets legend, dude. I mean, that story for this year, we're going to talk about it at the end of the show a little bit because it's going to bleed into the inspiration, motivation part of the show. But I mean, what a story for him this year to start where he started, come back to Kansas City. We'll talk about it at the end, but I mean, couldn't be happy for him. I've been a big McCole guy. I don't know if you remember how excited I was when he joined the Jets. I was like, dude, we got a fucking guy now. Like, this is a wide receiver I can get behind. And then to have it not work out was just so frustrating. But then to watch him win the bowl, I was like, fuck, dude. Like, we had a guy. Like, he still caught that ball. What a route. What a play call. That was, again, though, Andy Reid just putting Shanahan in his pocket. Like, to get a touchdown that free at the end of the game, I mean, obviously the momentum has totally shifted. Pat Mahomes has just marched down the field. Like, I don't think they were ever going to stop him. No. McCole Hardman could have closed his eyes and caught that ball. He was so open. Like, again, it's just Andy Reid. I feel like we don't talk about him enough. Just dismantled Shanahan in that fourth quarter going into overtime.
He owns it.
Like, literally owns him.
Yeah.
There was not a second of that fourth quarter. I don't know how you felt. I feel like being at the game, you kind of miss a lot of the commentary. You miss, like, you hear flags, but you don't see them. You see plays, but you don't really see them. When Pat Mahomes hiked that ball, I've never seen a guy more open than McCole Hardman. And that was on the opposite side of the field for me. And I was just like, oh my God, they did it. My reaction is live on camera. Like, that was my live reaction. I was like, oh my God, the Chief. Because McCole Hardman was so fucking open, dude. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
Dude, I guess. So we were with a guy during the game who is friends with McCole Hardman. And McCole was telling him that they drew up a couple plays for him. That was it. And I would assume that it was that deep shot and that play to walk off the game.
I feel like that's all you do with McCole is a deep shot and then like that quick motion where he's just got to get across real quick for you.
It was incredible. Like the dude literally knew he was wearing a McCole Hardman jersey. He was amped.
Dude, that
the number 17 McCole, the OG one.
I would have been busting with him. Yeah. If I was there with you guys, I would have been busting with him.
It was awesome.
But again, you see him on Jimmy Kimmel, which by the way, he just seems like a great guy too, all around. Like in those interviews, like what a great guy. He was like, knew the exact play call and was like, that play was for me. Once I heard Tom and Jerry, I knew it was for me. And then when you think about moments, right? He doesn't remember anything after running his route. He like blacked out after he caught the ball. You think about how high your adrenaline is. And then he said he came to once Pat was like jumping at him.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Like, I don't think many humans get to feel a happiness and an excitement like that. Could you imagine the biggest game of your career, the biggest catch? You don't even remember catching the ball, but all you remember is coming to, and the greatest quarterback of all time is like, we fucking did it.
We're world champs. That's what he was saying. We're world champs.
Dude, like that must have been just like the greatest just feeling of ecstasy of all time. Like you're like, oh my God, I did it.
Yeah.
Like I'm the guy. Like now you're etched in history. You're the guy, right? I think the two moments I remember now, or 1-1 from both Super Bowls, is McCole Hardman making that catch and Jerick McKinnon going down at the 1.
Yeah.
To win the games.
Mhm.
Like those are the greatest moments, at least for me. Like when I think back on those Super Bowls, like what moments, and to be like a player, a part of that moment, like such a cool experience.
People forget maybe Kadarius Toney last year on that punt return,
dude.
because that kind of won them the game. No,
Dude. And I remember, I think we talked about it on the show. We said either Kadarius Toney or McCole Hardman is going to win the game or lose the game.
Yeah.
And the fact that McCole Hardman won the game and I didn't have a touchdown ticket for him is sickening.
dude, I was talking about both. We were talking about both those guys
I
before we
know.
went there, and I was waiting for Tony to go on the board to take him for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Never went up there. Obviously, didn't play, and I didn't put in McCole.
How did I not put in McCole? Like that is literally a system play for me. It's like old Jets quarterback and my favorite wide receiver on the Chiefs since he's been there. Last thing I want to talk about the Super Bowl. Don't want to spend the whole show, but Brandon Ayuk's family has completely lost the plot.
Yeah, they're gone.
Have you seen the things that are going on?
Seen it, yeah.
But if you have not seen Brandon Ayuk's family, Brandon Ayuk is the number one wide receiver on the 49ers because I don't consider Debo a true wide receiver because he's kind of that like Swiss Army knife. Completely lost the plot on social media after the game, basically being like, how do you not get the best wide receiver on your team more than 3 touches? How is he not the main focal point of the offense? Like, fuck San Francisco, we're out. Hopefully he stays in Vegas. Like, can we just fucking relax as family members? Like, let's also be honest. If we watch back the tape, this Chiefs defense had Ayuk in straps. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, I watched the game. I was at the game. The catches that Ayuk had, he was open on. There was not many plays being at the game watching it. Maybe I missed a couple where I had conversations with RJ going, wow, Ayuk was wide open on that play. He should have found Ayuk on that play. It also doesn't help that the Chiefs completely stuffed the run game.
Yeah.
And that's what opens Brock up, is to be able to be like, when I hand this ball off to this guy, we're getting 8-9 yards. So now you got to stack the box. And now I can step back and I can throw the ball. The Chiefs came out and did exactly what they should have done and went, let's let Brock try to beat us with his arm. And guess what? He couldn't beat you with his arm. And the D-backs played phenomenally.
Yeah, they did.
So if Debo's getting clamped, you don't think Ayuk is getting clamped on the other side? Like, I can't stand it when family members get on social media and they're just like, I get it. You know, I'm sure the emotions are high. Yeah. Probably had a couple of drinks. You want your guy to win. But can we fucking relax? Can we relax?
Also, do they know that he's not a free agent?
Yeah, like he's got a whole year left.
He's got a whole nother year.
Now he's going into that locker room, like just being like, sorry, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
my bad on the family bit.
Like, get out of here.
Like that's.
But he could be a Bear. I wouldn't mind.
Would you take
Tell
him?
his family to keep going.
All right, reverse engineer.
Would I take him? Yes, absolutely.
Let's reverse engineer this. Let's get Ayuk on the Bears. Keep the family.
Or the Jets, dude.
Rolling.
Just get the family going.
We're not smart enough. We're not smart enough to make a move like that, dude. Woody Johnson is a complete bottomless. Also got to hang out with Topper from the Outer Banks.
Mm-hmm.
What a nice guy. I'm always one to give flowers to meeting people that are famous, that are so nice. We were at this Guy Fieri pregame. Shout out to PLL. Shout out RJ. Shout out everyone that made that possible. That was awesome. We're sitting there and I was like, oh my God, that's the guy from the Outer Banks. Like, I recognize him. I think his name is Austin. He's definitely the character Topper. I remember him. I watched that show during quarantine. I was like, fuck, I can't believe that's him. But I never am one to like go out of my way to be like, yeah, what's going on, man? Like, just want to like whatever. We're all sitting at this table, just hanging out, drinking a little bit, watching the Guy Fieri whole pregame bit. Out of nowhere, I look over. He's like next to me. And he was like, hey, man, just want to introduce myself. My name's Austin. I don't think we've met. And I was like, what's up, man? Name's Mike. Like, so good to meet you. Like, by the way, just like big fan of the show. And he was like, oh, thanks, man. We had like a great conversation just about like what he's been doing in Vegas, like how he's been doing. They're in the middle of filming for the new season. So I was like, how's that going? Like, just an all-time guy. So if you guys were thinking that he's anything like the character from the show, he is not. He's a great guy. Probably one of my all-time favorites now, just having met him and being like, wow, what a great guy. Loves cars, too. That's one thing I took away from him. He's a big car guy.
Big car guy.
Not the animated movie, just a big car guy. Which I feel normally a little bit of a red flag for me.
You think?
Just never have liked car guys, just as friends. Like, I've never had a friend where I was like,
Neither have I guess.
Being
either.
into like cars is normally a massive, like, I do not want to hang out with you because it's just too much. But he seemed like a really chill car guy, so big fan. But yeah, what a crazy weekend. We got to go to some clubs. We bought it around. The bookie team had a time and a half. Everyone was on the Niners other than a select few that cashed on Plus Chicken Pat. Josh was one of them.
I got one more thing.
Yeah, what do you think about the weekend?
Me and you dropped the ball, and we got to tell them about it. Me and Mikey had a chance to go out after the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about
you want to talk about drop the ball?
All-time back fumbles.
Oh my God.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, just go ahead.
So our CEO Dave, right? One of his really good friends, Lucas, is on the Chiefs. He's a backup tackle. Yeah. And we had a chance to go out with them after the game. Party with T Swift, Travis Kelce,
Ice Spice,
Pat
Mahomes,
Blake Lively,
McCole Hardman.
Dude.
And there was
fumbled.
There was not a person you could list that wasn't there. Post Malone, Tyga, like Marshmallow. There was not a Quavo. There was not a person you could name that was not at these parties. Continue.
That was about it, dude. We just choked. We fell asleep.
You didn't even say how we choked. Yeah.
Okay.
First of all,
so we we got back to the room. We were planning on going.
Yeah. I texted Dave after the game because I ended up walking home from the stadium. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys want to do the math on that walk, but I walked from Allegiant Stadium to the Paris Hotel, which was like a 2-hour walk. Yeah. But I was hammered. So it was a great walk. But I texted Dave. I was like, dude, if there's any way possible, can I please go out with you and Lucas? Because in last year's Super Bowl, we ended up flying out the night of. And Dave stayed to go out, and it looked like so much fun. And I was like, man, like being able to go out with this Chiefs team would be so sick. So I was like, Dave, please, I'm begging you. Like, if you go out with Lucas, please. He was like, dude, 100%. I was like, oh my God, let's go. So now I'm riled up walking home. Like, I'm like, dude, this is going to be fucking sick. Like, we're going to be able to hang out with everybody. Like, last time Dave said he was hanging out with Lucas after the Super Bowl, he got to hang out with Pacheco and like some guys that I really liked. And I was like, dude, this year, like, Pacheco's going to be there, big Pacheco guy. Like maybe I get to see McCole Hardman, like be able to tell him I'm a big Jets guy. Not that he would love that, but just be like, dude, I'm a big fan. Get back to the hotel. Dave was like, yo, they're not going out till 1 a.m. I got back to the hotel at like 11:30. It's like, dude, fuck. I can't really feel my legs. Not as drunk as I was. Got into bed because I saw Josh was in bed. And I was like, ooh, I hit that pillow. I literally hit that pillow and I went, if Dave doesn't wake me up, there's no shot I'm waking up to go out for this. Wake up like 3 hours later. It's now like 1:30. Check the Instagram. Dave is literally inches away from Ice Spice, Taylor Swift. Like literally everyone that was at that party. Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce, like literally inches away from these people in their section. And I'm just sitting there like, dude, we fumbled this
so bad, dude.
I look over, Josh is still seeing me. I was like, at least someone else fucked up as bad as I fucked up, dude. And then Dave gets back. He was like, dude, it's the greatest night of my life. So
he literally said best night of my life.
Dude. And we're sleeping. I got greasy pizza with JJ at like 2 a.m.
The worst pizza
I was like,
of all time.
I was like, I need to eat something. Like, this is fucked up. Got the worst pizza of all time. Checking my Instagram story, just like trying to like live vicariously through Dave. And then the funniest part is in McCole Hardman's Jimmy Kimmel interview, they're like, how's the party? And he was like, dude, we were in our section. There's so many people. You don't even know the fuck they got in the section. I was like, he's talking about Dave. He's talking about Dave. I was like, I know he's talking about Dave. That big motherfucker was in there. And McCole was like, who is that?
Is that dude on our team? I've never seen it.
It's like, dude, are you on the practice squad? Like, what the fuck's going on? It looked, I mean, like, dude, we fumbled that so bad.
So bad.
I'm also a big Post Malone guy. He did like a private performance for him at XS. Like, and there's not many more chances we're gonna get it a night like that.
No, like
there might not ever be another one.
There might be like 8 more. Who knows? Because the Chiefs are gonna win every single.
Lucas has
as
to
long
be
as
on the
Lucas
Chiefs.
is still under contract for 2 more years.
Yeah, we need a bowl in the.
I think he's got 2 more.
We need a bowl in the next 2 out of the Chiefs because I need to just to experience it, dude.
I know.
Like Dave got to do shots with Travis Kelce. Like, I mean,
Jason too.
Just be busting if I was there. Like, and I was doing a shot with Travis Kelce. Like, the fact that I could have had a weekend where I met Johnny Manziel and then could have went and partied with Travis Kelce, and instead was asleep is all time.
So bad,
Dude. Like,
dude. Also, I heard
bad.
that like they showed up at XS at like 4 o'clock. Like it was closed.
dude.
It was closed. Like nobody was there. Marshmallow was already off stage, and our boy Danny in chat, who's always in here, Mahoney, had to go back and get Marshmallow to
He's
get
like,
him to
"Dude,
come back
Dude, the Chiefs
get
are
him to
here. You
come
got to come back
back
down. He was like, oh, fuck.
and play for the Chiefs. And it was just them, I guess, like in the entire club.
Dude, like, I would have just been bustos.
Yeah. Same.
Post Malone played Congratulations live. Like, bustos. I would have needed new pants. I'd have been like, why is that kid covered in bust? I'm like, dude, I don't think you understand what this night means to me. Like, just all-time bag fumble. And we were like invited, could have went, fell asleep. I mean, you just can't make that up. You can't make that up. If I think about it, I'm gonna get upset again.
Yeah, no more. We're done with that.
But what'd you think of Vegas as a whole for the weekend?
I loved it, dude. I had a
Yeah.
great time. I mean,
Bet on
game was
some sports.
awesome. Circa was awesome. The view that we had at Circa was insane.
Yeah, I
Like,
didn't get to
looking
see
over
the
the
Circa
entire
stuff.
book. I mean, I had a good time. I had
was a good
the
weekend.
Chiefs. I had an unbelievable prop that I hit during the game. Went up to the sports book right before it started. Put $300 on there to be over 1.5 fumbles in the game, and it was plus 225.
Wow.
That hit early second quarter, which was unbelievable.
Dude, that's how you get one.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
I was like, Dave, I'm just gonna go up here and just whatever speaks to me, I'm clicking it and we're running.
that is quite literally
Just
the
going through the
definition of
sheet.
getting one. Dude.
Yeah, it was
Holy
insane.
shit. I dropped $300 on heads.
There we go.
Dude.
There we go.
Walking into the stadium, we were a little late. Walking into the stadium, I checked Twitter. I see everyone's banging on heads, and I was like, "We did it, boys!" And like RJ turned out, he was like, "Let's fucking go!" Huge vibes, huge for the vibes.
Unreal.
I did have a $1,500 swing in the wrong direction. Took Debo for a grand. Then I was like, you know what? Saturday, last game of the slate, USC plus chicken against my Stanford wagon. Took USC for $500. That hurt. Other than that, though, I had a great betting weekend outside of the sports.
Good.
I will say, though, hand up, I'm going to own up to it. Last night, we were in Vegas. Decided to hit the Tabes for the first time all trip. And by Tabes, I mean play some card games. Sat next to Trent, played some blackjack. Lost $600.
Jeez.
Straight. I didn't even have a pulse. I was putting chips and they were just disappearing every single hand. And it's not like I was playing the wrong way because I was asking Trent how to play and he was basically giving me the book, like how to play by the book, which, by the way, fuck the book.
You play by the book.
But fuck the book. I'm just not a guy that ever plays like that. Like, I was not having fun and I was playing the right way. I would have rather like fucked the whole table and just been having fun. But then I was like, you know what? Get it all back. Hit the roulette table with $100. It was gone in 2 spins. 2 spins, gone, $700. And then I was like, dude, I'm going to bed, but I got to find JJ because I want to say goodnight to JJ. I want to see what he's doing. Walk over to JJ. He's at the craps table. I watch him win $5,000 in front of my eyes.
Yeah, dude, he had like the bet, like you roll 2 through 12 without hitting 7. He didn't. I think he won like $3,800 just on that.
Dude, on that alone.
Yeah, just that.
And I'm watching him and like he's rolling. It's like 8, 9, 10, and like no one's really making money. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking the dumbest shit ever. And then we get to like, he rolls a 4. He's like, dude, if I roll a 3, I'm gonna make $3,000. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? If you roll a 3, you're gonna make 3. Well, what are you talking? What if I missed in the last 9 throws? Literally, next throw, 3. The table was busting. And he was like, Mikey, I just won $3,000. Fuck it. 151 to 1. I was like, dude, there is just no way. I speed ran through losing $700 to sit at this table and watch you win $3,800 on one fucking row. Like, I was in moose shit, but I was happy for him. It was funny. I'm just not a table guy. I could have walked away up money, ended up leaving down money because I hit the tables. Just fucking botting. Just an all-time bot fest.
That's what Vegas is, though. You just gotta have some fun. Try some shit out.
That's just what it is. And then I get home yesterday and I'm like, you know what? No days off. Tried to lab a little bit and went 1-4. So, you know what I mean? But it's Valentine's Day, by the way. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Do something special for your girl today, okay? It's a big day, even if you don't think it is. And if you're single, let's go get some beers with the boys. Honestly, Valentine's Day when I was single used to be hysterical. Like, I would either go to the bar with my buddies or we would like play Xbox and just get stupidly drunk and just be like bidding and botting the whole night away. Actually, I wanted to ask your opinion on this.
What's up?
Because my buddy, unnamed buddy, is going through this right now.
Mhm.
Is it weird to go on a date on Valentine's Day when you're not dating the person and you're maybe just starting to see them? I feel like
I
it's
think
a
it
day you
depends what
just
your
take
in-
that one off.
I think it depends what your intentions are. I think like if you want to date them, then it's not weird going out. But like if you're just trying to like,
Do you think you're putting a little bit too much into the air though? Because my point was, he goes, well, she's only available on this Wednesday. I would have almost been more inclined to be like, let's just reconnect. Because I feel like he doesn't know where they're at yet. She probably doesn't know where they're at yet. And now she's telling her friends, like, hey, I'm going out tonight. And they're like,
Wait,
it's
what?
fucking Valentine's Day. What do you mean you're going out tonight? Like, what? Like, I just feel like I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I've never been in that situation, so I've either had a girlfriend or not. Like that was kind of
Yeah, I've never been in that situation either, which is why I almost was thinking, why even put yourself in that situation?
That's true. I guess like that does make it tough on both of you because like then it feels like you have to date.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's almost, we're setting the expectation.
Yeah, you're my Valentine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when I was in middle school, they used to, and like elementary school, when you would like ask girl to be your Valentine, you'd give out Valentine's cards to everyone. It meant something. It used to mean something.
To every girl.
That literally used to mean, yeah, I used to give a Valentine's Day card to every single girl and you'd be like, oh my God, so sick. All right, let's slate some surf. Let's surf some slate. A beautiful slate today. I'm gonna tell you a couple games that are talking to me. I'm putting out a parlay today, and I'm also gonna put out the platter. Need to have a positive day. So let's have a positive day. First of all, we're taking the Magic and we're taking Paolo's more than PRA on his first ever nationally broadcasted game. What a day for him.
How is it even possible?
Because the Magic are fucking
But how is
moose.
you would think that the number one pick last year would have had at least a couple games?
Maybe, yeah.
Because
I
you
don't
know that Wemby's had some, right? Like the Spurs have definitely had some.
I think Wemby is like a generational pick.
Yeah,
though,
but
that
still, like the
people are
number one overall, you think that they would have given him one last year?
It kind
at
of
least.
feels like, was Michael Carter number one or number two?
Michael Carter.
Williams.
Oh,
He was high. Though.
he was high. Yeah.
It almost felt like a Michael Carter Williams high pick. Like I was like, I'm not really interested in watching Paolo on the Magic. You know what I mean? Like Wemby on the Spurs, like that's a guy that could change the franchise. I didn't feel like when Paolo was the number one overall pick that he was a franchise.
Oh, also
changer.
that game was last night.
What game?
I guess Paulo's game was last
No,
night.
I thought it was tonight.
I thought it was tonight too.
No,
There's like 4 people that said
I thought it was Knicks Magic.
Bros unlocked. That was last night. That
Was it
last
actually?
night.
Yeah, was the nationally televised Paolo game last night?
Yeah.
Who won?
National broadcast was last night. Yeah, nice job, Paulo.
Well, guess what? Bounce back game against the Knicks. It was always the more than the next game. Wow, dude, I'm so unlocked. That's fucking crazy. That's embarrassing. I'm gonna be honest,
I honestly thought the exact same thing. I saw that tweet this morning
Dude,
and then saw
same.
what they played. I just assumed that it was tonight.
dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's exactly why he's had no nationally televised games. Like, what are we talking about here? That's exactly why he's had no games on national TV. Like, you can't get your dick punched off by the Thunder, your first national television. And who would ever take your PRA more than in a game like
Yeah.
that, where you're gonna fold like a lawn chair?
Also, we got time to go through the slate today. BTL isn't starting until 2. So we got time. We can go.
Oh, let's do
We can go a little over.
extendo. Do we have grins in queue?
Yeah, we got them.
All right, let's go. All right, I'm going to tell you some games that are speaking to me a little bit. Okay, just a little bit, Josh. Some games are speaking to me. BU, the line is completely flipped.
Playing
Army
Army.
opened as a favorite. It's now BU -1.5. Army was -1.5. Now +1.5. BU is +1.5. Now -1.5. Love BU in this spot.
I would agree.
Also, not to be un-American, I fucking love fading our armed forces college sports. Like they are just moose shit.
It's because their height and weight requirements. I think.
Yeah,
that's
and
why they
also
stink.
because they just have no fun. They have no fun.
Yeah, I mean,
You watch an Army game, they suck.
Yeah.
You watch a Navy game, they
bunch
suck.
of bunch of ball movement and not getting shots up.
Like
Just turnovers and ball movement.
football might be the worst game of ever.
Dude,
Army Navy.
I love their
I
football
fucking
games. I
hate
love
those
their
games.
see like that's where you lose me.
Like watching Navy play Notre Dame and trying to pull off the triple option while just getting their face melted off was like not even fun.
I love it.
And I had a Notre Dame ticket.
I love it.
So BU, fade the Army, but not in real life. I love our Army.
Navy plays also.
Navy does play. I did not look into that game. I really like Michigan State on the road. I don't know, man. I feel like Tom Izzo, has been pretty unimpressive the past like 3-4 years. I feel like this might be the team where he's kind of got all the pieces. I know it's really hard to win on the road in the Big Ten. Penn State has just not impressed me this year.
Good.
After last year being one of my wagons where it was like I blind bet them literally every game because they just had guys all over the court. I'm just not impressed with them this year.
Yeah.
So Michigan State as a short favorite. I know that 3.5-4 number is the most dangerous number for a road favorite, especially in the Big Ten. I'm going to take the Spartans and I'll just live and die by Tom Izzo, either getting across the line or losing my money. Like, that's fine with me. You know what I mean? I would never want to take Penn State plus 3.5 at home and watch them lose by 15 to a Michigan State team that I know is better, which is why I took Iowa State yesterday. Didn't tweet it, but I got the slip. They're just a better team. Like, I don't know why I'm complicating it this year. And I've had so many cards go 1-4, 0-5 this year compared to last year because I've just changed the way that I'm betting, and I'm not doing that anymore. Last night was the last night.
Okay.
Like, I'm actually done. I also am not going to lie. This Georgia Tech Notre Dame game seems gross from the surface. I actually love Georgia Tech with the points just because I have no confidence in this Notre Dame game or this Notre Dame team. I feel like this is a Notre Dame team that's only a favorite because they're at home. That's literally the only reason why I really feel like they're a favorite. And obviously that makes sense because it's college, whatever. The other game I was looking at, I feel like High Point's kind of been a wagon. That's a lot of points. So 13.5 is a lot of points. A lot of points. Seton Hall money line. I fucking love that play. Shaheen Holloway has completely unlocked this team. I feel like he's made the Rock a fortress. A fortress. It is very hard to get a game at Seton Hall now, whereas under Kevin Willard, it felt like a coin flip every night that they were at home. It felt like sometimes he made it a complete fortress. Sometimes he got blown out at home. It feels like Shaheen Holloway has finally unlocked a Seton Hall team that protects the home floor, that protects their house, no matter who's coming in. So give me Seton Hall. There wasn't anything else that really yelled to me. Obviously, mortgage play, IUPUI, Detroit Mercy. Gonna have to figure out which side we're on that one.
I mean,
it feels like IUPUI for the bit.
Dude, yeah, I feel like
it would be so funny.
Yeah. I think it's just take their money line, dude.
Yeah, it might be leaving points. They're 0-26.
I feel like the Mercy win this game just because of that line, but also like not winning a single game in basketball, like you might just not know how to win. Like at the end of the game, like
locker room,
you don't even know what to do.
Yeah, like
you're just like, wait, what? We've never been here before.
You think if they win, it's just general confusion? They're not even happy.
Yeah, they're just like, what?
It's like, oh,
never felt this before.
Yeah, what is this feeling? Why do we have more points on the scoreboard than the other team? Like, I also think it's the books being like, I mean, it's IUPUI on the road.
Yeah,
there's no way they don't win this game. You know what I mean?
This is like the only winnable game they have this year.
Like, actually, though,
yeah.
Like if they don't win this game,
they're done.
They're not winning a game the rest of the year.
No,
for sure. 5.5 just feels like so many points. Like Vegas might be telling you this is the game Detroit Mercy wins. Yeah. Like they might have had this circled. You know what I mean? But I kind of want to be on IUPUI for the bit because I think it would be so funny if Detroit Mercy went like 0-34. Like that would just be hysterical. Other than that, I was looking at a couple games. North Florida's been a little weird. I might want to bet that one. I mean, we'll talk about the big games. South Carolina, Auburn. Seen a lot of people on South Carolina. I feel like this might be a spot where you pick Auburn to blow out South Carolina.
Really?
I feel like they went on the road, got punched in the mouth by Florida really bad. The jungle is so hard to play in, dude. And I feel like that many points after a massive loss to Florida is kind of telling you that they're going to right the ship. I don't know if that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Iowa, Maryland might shock you. We take that over.
I mean, yeah.
We've seen Iowa put up some numbies this year. Maryland at home, kind of a system. I also don't mind Maryland minus the 5.5 at home. Kevin Willard's going to have to figure this team out at some point because the step back he's taken from last year to this year has been a little bit disappointing. I got a text from a DePaul fan this morning that said UConn minus 24.5 is a max bet.
Really? I mean, DePaul's trash.
Moose shit.
They're terrible.
Might be the worst team in college basketball other than Detroit Mercy.
And the Missouri Tigers.
You're not wrong on that one. Tennessee, Arkansas, what would you do in that game?
Tennessee, Arkansas. I mean,
8.5 point spread.
Tennessee.
But why has Arkansas been covering spreads? That's the only question I'm going to ask you.
I'm just taking Dalton Connect all day.
You take our Oregon State wagon plus 6.5.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Do we want
We almost forgot.
What?
We're taking Bayern Munich, max bet,
Oh, yeah.
and a Harry Kane goal, and a Kingsley Coman goal. We are also going to take PSG money line max bet. Responsibly. Both favorites in the Champions League. That's what we're doing. I also wouldn't mind that PSG over. I think it's at 2.5, maybe. Might be 3 flat, but I like that PSG over. Those are the Champions League early pitch cake plays that we're taking. Way more confident in Bayern, though, I will say. So if you're going to pick one, just to drop a little taste on, it's Bayern Munich. Just wanted that said. I feel like that needed to be said.
I like Bayern.
I love Bayern.
They're playing Lazio.
Yeah, dude. I like it. What? I mean, Lazio's good, but
Yeah.
dude,
Get out of here.
Bayern this year feels like a wagon. PSG, though, they love to steal coins, so I wouldn't be shocked if they drew.
Yeah.
That one wouldn't be shocked. But Bayern is the play. Sorry, go ahead.
It's already locked.
It's already locked. Is it the Iowa game?
It's not.
Oh, that would have been
It is
sick.
VMI at Furman.
That's
Over 166.5.
disgusting, dude.
Disgusting.
That is disgusting.
What is it? The Vermont Military Institute? I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Is that what
I
it stands for?
I believe so.
Wow.
Yeah.
A military school and we take that over?
Yeah.
That feels
Dude, their
foul.
defense is so bad. So
Um,
bad. Me and Dave have a system on them. You just fade them first half every game.
Also, the call is coming from inside the house. It might be UMass plus 3.5.
Who's calling?
I'm not going to say, but the call is coming from inside the house.
Okay.
It might be UMass plus 3.5. Although we've
I
been
think it
losing
is.
some money on this call. Just want that to be known.
I
We went to Vegas and lost a lot of money on when the call came from inside
think
the
just
house.
one of them, though. The other
No,
one,
it was back-to-backs.
really?
Smacked in the
You
mouth.
got one, though, right? VCU. Yeah, okay. We got
Yeah.
the first one. Went through.
Oh, don't want to give too much away. But might be UMass plus 3.5 calls coming for inside.
Oh,
the
it's
house.
Virginia, not Vermont.
What else is screaming at you? Did you look a little bit?
I've been looking.
Been dabbling?
I have been.
Been tasting?
I mean, I think my favorite play on the entire board is Furman first half. That just
Where did that
the
come
system.
from?
You
Is
just
that a
fade
system?
VMI in the first half.
Okay. I mean,
And it didn't hit last time, so bounce back.
I'm not ashamed to
fading them.
say. I'm not ashamed to say I would be down.
I also like UIC plus 14.5 against Bradley. This is UIC's Super Bowl. Playing the best team in Illinois. Well, that they'll play in Illinois.
Okay. Let's get Grins up here.
Grinzy.
Yo,
Grins, let me look at the board and tell me you got to play.
yeah, I got one. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Today, I got Gardner Webb minus 5.5,
Wow.
and that's what I'm rolling with. I have some other plays in NBA, but nothing that I really love. I have the Pacers to cover on the road. And yeah, I mean, that's really what I'm going with today. Those are my two. Kind of just going to see what you guys take and put my coin there.
We should make a show parlay one of these days.
We should. Should we do it right now?
I love Gardner Webb money line for the lay piece.
Let's run that.
Maybe we go Gardner Webb money line to Michigan State money line, Furman first half.
Okay.
That could be a donkey. That could actually be like a morning after donkey.
I wonder what Furman's first half spread is. It's
Prince,
probably
can I get
14 and a
confirmed that
half.
you like that?
Yeah, I mean, hey, if they could, they got to win to cover, so take the money line.
That is, I mean,
Let's just take all the spreads, dude. Why are we getting soft?
5.5,
Why are we
5.5,
getting-
3.5, and the Furman spread.
And 14.5 probably.
I don't.
Furman is.
Well, we can't take Furman money line.
yeah.
Like that's
No. Furman first half spread for sure.
Yeah, Furman's minus 13.5 first half.
I think we go Gardner Webb with the points, Furman with the points, and then the money line on
For
Michigan State.
Michigan. I love that. That's the leg. Gardner Webb spread, Furman first half spread, Michigan State money line. Wow, I love that.
That's
actually.
smacking.
That's the morning after parlay for your head top.
Grins, how was your Super Bowl, my guy? What'd you do?
I went to a buddy's house up in the Poconos, and we were able to do like some skiing and stuff over the weekend, and then on Super Bowl Sunday just kind of chilled, made a bunch of steaks, wings, and all that, and just took it easy and enjoyed the game, and got to watch Debo, you know,
So,
not catch any touchdowns while being wide open, but you know,
Okay, that sucked.
it is what it is.
That's
We
all
move. Honestly, I'm glad football season's over. I'm ready to start moving towards baseball. Golf's back on.
Big baseball guy. We're gonna tap Grins heavy during the summer.
So, I can't complain too much. It was a good Super Bowl. I just can't believe that the Niners didn't know the rules in overtime. They took the ball
Incredible.
first. I don't know what that was about. So, it was a good Super Bowl. I honestly, considering the last couple that we had, it was much better than those. So, overtime, can't complain.
I mean, Debo sucked the soul out. The Niners not knowing the overtime rules, almost funny because Shanahan just completely somehow shot himself in the foot again. But Grins, I cannot wait to just milk you during baseball season. I'm not gonna lie, guy. I mean, I know nothing about
What the
baseball.
hell do you mean by that, bro?
You know exactly what I mean.
And also one more thing. I'm just gonna pour one out real quick
Oh,
for Mikey's bet and for Prize Picks not being allowed in New York anymore tomorrow. So I'm in Moose.
Moose.
that keyboard is soaked.
Pour one out. Pour one out. Pour one out. Pour one out. Grins, I fucking missed you, man. It's good to hear your voice again. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep, I'm glad to be back, man. Let's the morning after every single day, and
Every single day. And we'll be back tomorrow, but just keep in mind, guys, I will not be here for the Friday episode. I'm going to New York for my birthday. So I want no bitching. But guess what? We got a special surprise for you guys on Friday. So make sure you stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Which, by the way, couldn't be more excited about the special surprise. I feel like people didn't know that Josh and I had a bag like this.
Yeah.
Not money-wise. I'm crazy broke, but didn't know we had a bag this deep with the show, if you know what I'm saying. Well, you'll see on Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'll see on Friday. All right. Should we get a little inspiration, motivation, get out of here? Or
Let's do it.
should I make a PP entry really quick?
We can make a PB.
Do we want to cook really quick? Could
All
we
right,
get two
Grins.
piece?
We'll
I'll
see
see
you
you,
later,
boys.
Thank you, Grins. I love you, bro. Appreciate you. All right. So here's what I'm thinking, Josh. First of all, have not been able to look at the college basketball PP board as much as I would like to. So I'm going to quickly do a thumb scan here. First of all, most popular play is Johnny Broom to hit a 3 tonight for Auburn. That feels like I want to be a part of that.
You want to take that?
I feel like I want to be
Okay.
But let's keep that separate, though. Let's keep that separate. I'm such a sucker for the popular page because I want to ride with people. Like, I love riding with people. And when I see so many people on one thing, I'm like, oh, I want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Like, I got such bad FOMO with the popular page. I feel like. All right. First of all, I fucking hate how low everyone's line is on Michigan State. We might pop off that.
Really?
I mean, dude, Tyson Walker's at 16.5. He's normally like 18. He's
On the
averaging
road.
20 points per
On
game
the
his
road.
last 3.
On the road.
On the road. Do I want to bet on Braden Shrewsbury because of his name on Notre Dame? Yeah. Are we going to do it? No. I'm going to be a responsible adult. I will say, though, Miles Kelly on Georgia Tech, 13.5 points. That's going to be in a slip.
Okay.
Just air an entry.
Any day?
Is there a day today? There is a certain Wooga Poplar on Miami. I love that name. If we made a name late, it'd be Shrewsbury, Poplar, Youngblood. Hold on. That might be the 3-piece. Dude. That might be just the name 3-piece right there. Like that feels good. Do you have anything on your end that you like? Oh, Des Watson
I
on
haven't
Loyola
looked at PP yet.
Chicago.
Let me check out the board.
Loyola Chicago. I mean, Michi Johnson's a classic name. That's up there with the greats. I feel like I don't want to take any UConn props because that's going to be a freaking blowout. Also, Wagon, just want to put everyone on. Don't say I didn't tell you about it. Zakai Ziegler's PRA on Tennessee has been printing. Okay?
He's been good.
Printing. Just want that
He's a
said.
dog.
All
That
right.
team is so good.
Let's try to cook something, Josh. Let's see what we got here, bud.
Let's see.
Let's see what we got. System play. Trae Young against Charlotte. Charlotte can't guard for shit. Could be a Trae Young night. I wouldn't hate that. 24.5 points against Charlotte. That could be either him or DeJounte Murray. I love both. Maybe more so DeJounte against Charlotte. What's screaming? I also don't want to lose chat. Can I get chat throwing some plays around? Because I know
Chat,
they're
give
in
us
the
some.
lab.
Yeah, give us some PPs.
Chat's in the lab way earlier than I am every single day. So I'm gonna need them to
Dude,
lock
should
in.
we sweat? You said you like Trey Young.
Yeah.
Should we sweat the special Harry Kane plus Trey Young shots on target and 3-pointers made?
I fucking love
More
that.
than 4.5.
Yeah, that's in.
Let's take that.
That's literally already in.
They got one for Mbappe and Luca too.
Dude, you know what else I don't hate? Josh, you know what I don't hate? If we just kept it in the combos. Tyler Hero of Genny Malkin, threes and SOG. Maybe Kyrie Irving, Sid Crosby, threes and SOG.
I kind of like the middle one.
CJ McCollum and Kaprizov.
I kind of like that one.
JJ's also in Stu, guys.
Dude, do you know who else is on the board?
CJ McCollum is just such a boner.
Luke Littler's on the board.
No way, dude.
For 180 throws. Oh, dude.
Josh, wake up.
Come on.
That would have been automatic in the slip, dude. That would have been an automatic ad in the slip. You know what I
We'll
want?
take it tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow.
You know what I want in there?
Hmm.
If we're already sweating threes, let's just put Johnny Broom 3 in there.
Okay.
That could just, that just feels like a
Let's
good
run.
entry. You know
Why
what I
not?
mean? We're already sweating all that shit together. The PP entry for the morning after on an extendo. Is today Wednesday?
Mhm.
On an extendo Wednesday episode. Harry Kane and Trey Young SOG's 3-point made. And Johnny Broom to bang 1-3 in our mouth.
That's gonna be
all
a
we
fun
need.
sweat.
That's going to be a fantastic sweat. I'm going to put $200 on that. And that's going to be exclusive to the show. You had to tune in to get that. Because I feel like if I posted that, I would get murdered.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep that to the show. You keep that to yourself. But when it hits, I'm going to be all over your feed. Telling you should
Dude,
watch it.
someone's spamming Tiger under 71.5 strokes.
Wow.
That might be a fade.
That's Thursday, though.
Yeah.
We'll have a
that's
Luke
tomorrow.
Littler Tiger entry tomorrow for sure. You put goats with goats, I'll tell you what. All right. Listen, we're going to wrap up the show. A little motivation, a little inspiration. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about a player named McCole Hardman. And when I tell you this story about McCole Hardman, I want you to really think about it. And then we're going to take some key things away from it at the end. McCole Hardman started the year with the New York Jets, with a new opportunity, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. What an opportunity for him. Possibly a spot where he could break through, solid number 2 wide receiver, and be one of our guys playing for Aaron Rodgers, a Jets team that preseason pretty much is shown to make the playoffs and a pretty heavy favorite to make the bowl. What an opportunity for him, right? Couldn't break through, couldn't get on the field. Couldn't break through, couldn't get on the field. Brand new opportunity, put a lot on the line, moved across the country, couldn't get on the field. Ends up back in the Kansas City Chiefs. I think a lot of people will look at that, take their own life in account. Just because this new opportunity feels like it's going to be the perfect fit, sometimes it all doesn't work out. But the worst thing you can do is give up. I think Seth Rogen said it. The only time that you're not going to achieve your dreams is when you stop chasing them. The only time you can fail is if you stop trying. The minute you stop trying, you fail. As long as you're trying, you're not failing. So I think a lot of people might look at that McCole Hardman situation and go, brand new opportunity, might as well hang him up, dude. It's over. Guy kept his head down, went back to the Chiefs, grinded away, had 2 games where it seemed like the world was over. Had a game where he literally had 2 fumbles, 2 catches, -1 yards. Had another game where he lost it for the Chiefs. Everyone turned against him. Kept his head down, and he kept going. And he caught the game-winning ball in a Super Bowl. If there's anything you can take away from McCole Hardman, it's that when things don't go your way or things might not have worked out or you have a disaster week or a disaster day, you just got to keep going. If McCole Hardman gave up and stopped taking steps forward and stopped working hard and didn't keep his head down, he's not catching a game-winning ball in a Super Bowl and getting to go on Jimmy Kimmel and being the guy in Chiefs history and getting his name etched in history books. And when you look at that journey, I feel like that's a lot of people's lives, and a lot of people give up when the Jets give up on him. If McCole Hardman gave up on himself because the Jets gave up on him, he's not catching a game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. Right? Just because you have this great new opportunity, it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean the world is over. All you have to keep doing is taking one step forward. McCole Hardman literally went through everything horrible you can go through in a season of a football player. New opportunity doesn't work out, can't get on the field, goes back to his old team, disaster show. Can't catch balls, fumbling all over, losing games. Kept the head down, kept taking steps forward, and I'm sure it wasn't easy. I'm sure those are some dark days for our guy McCole. But guess what? If you keep taking one step forward, you could be the guy that catches the game-winning ball in a Super Bowl, right? So let's take a little note from our guy McCole, and a note that we've been saying on this show every single day. Just take one step forward. Because as long as you're moving forward, you're not moving backwards. Good morning, good afternoon, good night from the morning after. It's so good to be back. I missed you guys so much. I love every single one of you. Hope you have a great week. Let's have a legacy show tomorrow, then a surprise on Friday. I will see you on Monday. I'll see you tomorrow too. But let's just keep taking one step forward, guys. I love you so much. Stay right here. We got BTL coming up next at 2. So you can turn the stream off today, but make sure you got the noties on. Follow the Twitch account. Subscribe to the YouTube. All right? If your buddies missed today's show, send them the gosh darn link. Okay? It's going to be on YouTube. I'll post it. Make sure you're following. All right? 2 o'clock, I got BTL. Surge stream back today. Possible night sweats. Nope. Surgical stream tomorrow. Thank God our schedule is just hammered out, guys. I mean, you'd think by now. But we got BTL at 2, so make sure you tune into that. You need the sharp plays. Vegas needs its money back after the Super Bowl. Okay? So make sure you tune into BTL. Thank you guys so much. Good afternoon, good morning, and good night.